Why smart people often dislike socializing, Schopenhauer's wisdom. Have you ever found yourself surrounded by a crowd, yet felt like you were the only one there? Maybe you've mastered the art of polite smiles, engaging in small talk and offering affirmative nods at just the right moments, only to leave feeling drained and hollow inside. If you've ever wondered what the purpose of all this socializing is, the endless parties, shallow exchanges, and relentless need to fit in, then this isn't just a message directed at you, it practically describes you. Today, let's shine a light on a reality most people are hesitant to acknowledge. Many individuals with keen, thoughtful minds often perceive social interactions as futile or meaningless. No one captured this sentiment more vividly than Arthur Schopenhauer, the philosopher known for his deeply pessimistic outlook on life. It's important to clarify that this isn't merely a case of being introverted. This goes beyond simply feeling shy, awkward, or grappling with social anxiety. Instead, it's a profound recognition that, for those who think deeply, the modern world of socializing can feel more like a snare than a reward. From the earliest moments of our lives, we're bombarded with the idea that true happiness springs from being social, that popularity is synonymous with self-worth. The message is repeated everywhere: the more connections you have, the more fulfilling and vibrant your life must be. But here's a question most people are reluctant to ask themselves: how much of your social life is genuine? How many of your relationships are rooted in honesty, and how many exist only because of a fear of isolation? According to Schopenhauer, the majority of people don't truly think for themselves. Instead, they react impulsively, put on performances for others, and seek approval relentlessly, much like moths irresistibly drawn to a bright light. This isn't necessarily because they find joy in social approval, but because they've been taught by society that it's something they should crave. For instance, consider how many times you've attended social events not out of real interest, but out of obligation or the anxiety of missing out. This cycle can leave many reflective individuals questioning the purpose of these interactions, highlighting the gap between what society tells us to cherish and what actually feels meaningful. We often find ourselves mirroring the behaviors of those around us. We adopt the same way of speaking as our friends, chuckle at jokes even when we don't find them funny, and nod in agreement even when our hearts say otherwise, all in the name of fitting in. On the surface, it feels like we're seeking connection, a sense of belonging to a group. But if we dig deeper, we might discover that what we're really after isn't connection at all. It's something else entirely: an escape. An escape from the quiet moments, from our own thoughts, and even from ourselves. Why? Because sitting with our thoughts can be uncomfortable, even intimidating. It pushes us to reflect on the choices we've made, the reasons behind our actions, and the quality of our relationships. It forces us to ask tough questions, like, am I truly being myself, or am I just copying what others do? This reflection can be eye-opening because it reveals how much of what we do is simply imitation, not a true expression of who we are. For someone who values clear thinking and intellectual growth, living authentically, being true to your own values and ideas, becomes something you can't compromise on. As you progress on your journey of learning and self-discovery, you start to see the world differently. You begin to notice how many people around you accept societal norms without ever questioning them. For example, think about trends on social media. How often do people jump on the latest fad, not because it aligns with their values, but because it's what everyone else is doing? You start to realize that, for many, the goal isn't to uncover the truth or to live freely. Instead, it's about staying comfortable, sticking to what's familiar, and avoiding anything that requires deep thought. Most people, it seems, aren't chasing profound understanding, they are chasing distractions to keep their minds occupied. For someone who prioritizes clarity, purpose, and a deeper understanding of life, this realization can feel isolating. It's as if you're on a different wavelength, seeing things others don't see, or don't want to see. But this moment of awareness is also powerful. It's revolutionary because it marks the beginning of a shift in how you live your life. You stop blindly following the crowd and start carving your own path, guided by your own principles and curiosity. It's not an easy road, but it's one that leads to a more meaningful and authentic existence. Every social setting involves an unspoken deal that rarely makes it into conversation. Each time you flash a polite grin so you won't appear unfriendly, keep a chat going just to avoid silence, or bite back an honest thought to blend in, you pay with the most valuable currency you possess, your authentic self. Those small concessions shave off tiny slices of who you really are until, one day, you glance in the mirror and hardly recognize the face staring back. You may become popular, yet feel like a stranger both to others and to yourself. 19th century philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer described this tension with striking clarity. He argued that truly intelligent people have little tolerance for the hollow rituals of social life. In his view, intelligence isn't merely solving tricky problems or scoring well on tests, it's also the capacity to see through appearances and notice what most people miss. The biggest illusion, he suggested, is the belief that every social interaction carries genuine meaning for all involved. Often it doesn't. Highly perceptive individuals frequently find themselves nodding through lightweight conversations, wearing smiles that feel scripted, and scanning for a single spark of sincerity in a room full of performance. They straddle two worlds, a rich inner landscape and an outer environment buzzing with chatter that rarely dives beneath the surface. Small talk alone can't bridge that divide. Here's the uncomfortable truth: sharp perception can isolate. The distance isn't born of arrogance, it comes from seeing the layers others overlook. Such observers notice the hidden power dynamics, the carefully polished personas, and the subtle tensions pulsing behind polite words. They register not only what is spoken but also the pauses, the evasions, and the thoughts left unsaid. If this description resonates, remember you don't have to withdraw from society to protect your authenticity. Instead, choose your interactions deliberately. Gravitate towards settings and people that invite candor, ask questions that venture beyond the obvious, and allow yourself quiet moments rather than automatic smiles. A handful of genuine connections will nourish you far more than universal approval bought at the cost of your own voice. They recognize manipulation that's wrapped in politeness, flattery that masks envy, and conformity that's disguised as togetherness. They also become aware of how rare genuine honesty is in a world full of superficial interactions. This awareness leads them to step back, not out of anger, but from a deep sense of weariness. For the thoughtful, solitude isn't loneliness, it's a form of freedom. In this quiet space, there's no need to perform, no pressure to react, and no demand to fit in. There's simply room. Room to think deeply, to create without limits, to reflect without interruption, and to exist authentically. It's here, in this stillness, that the most meaningful ideas take shape. Thoughts aren't rushed, they are given time to grow. Emotions are processed without distractions, leading to a sense of clarity and calm. There's space for truth, unfiltered and unburdened. But let's be honest, this clarity comes with a price. Seeing what others overlook means feeling what they don't. You might feel disconnected even in a crowd, or like an outsider in places you once called home. You could question if there's something wrong with you. Yet Schopenhauer once noted that the weight of awareness often brings loneliness. Still, this loneliness acts as a filter, helping you separate genuine connections from the noise of the world. Imagine a space where the chaos of the outside world fades away, allowing your mind to find peace. This sanctuary lets you listen to your own thoughts without any disruptions. Over time, the discomfort of feeling like an outsider shifts into the strength of independence. When you no longer feel the need to fit in, something extraordinary occurs. You start to draw in individuals who appreciate you for your authenticity, not just your willingness to conform. These people might be few, but they are truly significant. So, what should you do with this newfound understanding? Do you isolate yourself, sever all connections, or withdraw into a life of solitude? No, that's not the approach advocated by Schopenhauer. The aim isn't to shun the world entirely. Instead, it's about engaging with purpose and intention. Here's a crucial lesson for those who seek wisdom: be selective about your relationships. Not all interactions are created equal. Some people may deplete your energy, while others can uplift you. It's important to learn to discern this difference. By doing so, you can cultivate a life filled with meaningful and enriching connections. Guard your time fiercely. Social commitments can often feel like a vortex that consumes your energy and focus. It's perfectly acceptable to turn down invitations or requests that do not contribute positively to your life. There's no need to feel guilty about prioritizing your well-being and energy levels. Embrace moments of quiet. Many individuals shy away from silence, yet it is in these tranquil moments that brilliant ideas can flourish. Insight and creativity often emerge when we take the time to reconnect with our inner selves. Be mindful of how much of your personal experiences you share with others. You are not obligated to reveal your innermost thoughts and feelings to everyone you meet. Instead, confide in those who have proven themselves trustworthy and deserving of your vulnerability. Strive to lead with depth in your interactions. Allow your presence to evoke a sense of contemplation in others, not through rudeness, but by being authentically yourself. In a society that often values superficiality, your genuine nature can stand out. Be intentional about how you engage socially. When you walk into a space, aim to bring a sense of calm rather than getting swept up in the surrounding chaos. Your stillness can serve as a grounding force, encouraging others to reflect and engage more meaningfully. Respond with tranquility. Take back your focus. The things you concentrate on mold your identity. Safeguard your attention as if it were a precious gem. Because once you cease yearning for validation, something remarkable occurs. People start to take notice of you. They can't comprehend how you remain so calm, so confident, so unruffled. And that curiosity is the first step towards earning respect. Here's a little-known fact: when you stop chasing approval, you free yourself from its control. You become enigmatic, a presence that alters the atmosphere of a room, not through words, but through your energy. Why is that? Because nothing is more captivating than someone who doesn't need to be liked. They are not putting on a show. They are not trying to please everyone. They are simply being true to themselves. And that level of authenticity is both uncommon and compelling. This is what Schopenhauer meant when he said, "The wise are destined for solitude, not as a punishment, but as a privilege." Solitude hones the mind. It anchors the soul. Engaging in personal growth fosters a strong inner resilience. The world around you will often attempt to draw you back into its chaos, whispering messages like, "Blend in. Don't stand out. Return to the norm." However, once you've experienced the liberation of true freedom, you won't easily give it up for the comfort of familiarity. Many individuals find themselves stuck in a never-ending cycle. They post on social media, react to others, compare themselves, conform to societal norms, and then repeat the process. They often mistake attention for genuine affection, noise for significance, and distractions for true fulfillment. When the social media likes dwindle, when messages slow down, and when invitations become scarce, they feel a sense of panic. This happens because they've constructed their identity based on external validation. In contrast, wise individuals build their foundation from within. They recognize that authentic confidence isn't about being loud or showy, it's quiet and unassuming. It doesn't need to prove itself to anyone. When you achieve this level of self-assurance, you don't desperately seek connections. Instead, you naturally exude a sense of connection and warmth. You naturally project an aura of grounded assurance, mental sharpness, and inner fortitude. This authentic presence will magnetically attract people who are genuinely prepared for meaningful connections, not because you're performing for them, but simply because of how you carry yourself. For the intellectually aware individual, mastering these core practices becomes essential. First is intentional solitude. Dedicate quiet moments to refining your cognitive abilities while maintaining emotional openness. Think of it as mental maintenance that keeps your heart connected, not withdrawn. For instance, instead of mindless scrolling during alone time, you might analyze complex ideas or reflect on personal growth. Next is the principle of minimal visibility with maximum resonance. Make fewer appearances in crowded spaces, but ensure each interaction leaves a lasting impression. Much like a rare public speech from a respected leader gains more attention than daily chatter. Embrace thoughtful communication. Speak sparingly, yet when you do, ensure every contribution carries substance and insight. Imagine choosing words like precious gems, valuable because they are rare and meaningful. Cultivate emotional self-reliance. Experience feelings fully without expecting others to stabilize your inner world. When upset, You might process emotions through journaling or meditation rather than seeking constant reassurance. Practice quiet authority. Influence others through the power of your composed demeanor rather than loud declarations. Your calm confidence speaks volumes without uttering demands. Maintain unwavering direction. Possess crystal clear self-awareness and purpose, refusing to be derailed by distractions. Picture a lighthouse standing firm against stormy seas, its beam never wavering from true north. When you release dependency on external validation, you organically transform into someone others choose to follow. This happens not through persuasion, but because you personify a profound quality society often discourages: authentic personal freedom. So, here's the pivotal question to reflect upon. Do you have the courage to choose the less traveled road? Are you prepared to experience moments of feeling unseen, unfairly evaluated, or even dismissed simply because you choose authenticity over conformity, because you decline to hide behind a facade? Can you embrace quietude, not as a form of self-imposed restriction, but as a wellspring of inner strength? It takes resilience to resist the pull of wanting to blend in, to instead confidently express your true self, without reservation or apology. It's important to understand this isn't an invitation to withdraw from the world. It's about cultivating discernment, becoming intentional about where you invest your energy and attention. It's not a rejection of societal structures, but rather a deeper understanding of how they operate. And it's certainly not about emotional detachment. It's about establishing clear boundaries and a firm grasp on your own values. In fact, this clarity is a powerful asset. When you know who you are and what you stand for, you operate from a place of genuine strength. If these ideas resonate with you, if something in this message feels like a reflection of your own internal experience, I'd love to hear from you. Please share the phrase, "Silence is power," in the comments below. This isn't about seeking validation or attention, it's a simple acknowledgement, a personal declaration that you recognize the strength found within stillness and self-awareness. And if you're seeking further exploration of these concepts, more strategies for authentic living, and deeper insights into navigating the world with intention, consider subscribing to Echoes of Wisdom. The world isn't lacking in voices, it's yearning for thoughtful individuals, for those who dare to question, to explore, and to live a life defined by genuine self-expression. We need more people willing to embrace their individuality and live unapologetically true to themselves.